So, hey everybody, I just wanted to hang out a little bit with my friend Heather, and we are going to show you how Slooh actually works. We scheduled a time for 10 minutes from now, so we're actually going to get to look through one of the telescopes and see what we can see. But we wanted to show you a little bit about what you can do with Slooh, how we use it, and how you can use it to learn a lot about astronomy. So you can kind of see my dashboard here. I am the beginner level, which is Ptolemy. And if you haven't looked up who Ptolemy is, you should probably do that. He's a good guy to know if you want to be an astronomer. And along the top of my screen, you can see I've got some gravity. I have one badge because I've completed one of these quests, these starter quests. I finished, I think, the sun one. But they
Yeah, that's all I have.
is
I
that
only
you
have the
did that?
yeah, yeah, I
Nice.
did.
That's great because they have the solar telescope that it works most days. You can see if you look at the very top bar, we're going to click on all the telescopes here, and Canary 5 is the solar. It's offline now because in the Canary Islands, the sun has actually set right now. And so where I am in southern Ontario, the sun is just working its way down. And I'm looking at Heather, I'm looking at you right now, and you're like,
Yeah, it's quite bright.
nice bright sunlight working there, which is really really great. And then of course the telescopes in Chile are similar time.
This is
But
the first time I've seen one and two online
yeah, so
because I
you know
usually
what?
check it out in the morning when I was doing the sun one.
Oh yeah, right on. So since they're online, the cool thing you can do with anytime you go on Slooh, even if you haven't scheduled any time, is we can just go and look at what the telescope is looking at. And so this looks like a galaxy called Caldwell 60 or New General Catalog 4038. Some of the advanced members, or if you buy a kind of a higher level membership on Slooh, you can do more with the telescopes. Choose like longer exposures, put different filters on the telescopes. With our we have the basic membership, but it still lets you do a lot of really cool things, and we're going to capture some images. But the cool thing is you can join any telescope that's functioning and literally capture an image using this little camera icon. So I can capture this image. I'm actually going to go see what the other telescope's doing because I think there's probably something cooler. There you go, a spiral galaxy M65, as you can see over here. So
Oh wow!
that'll be more fun. It's popping up right now. There it is.
Oh
That is,
wait,
and look, we have another friend over here. This might be, I don't know where M65 is, but the Messier objects, there's, I think, 110 of them, found by a guy named Charles Messier a long time ago. And so they tend to be the brightest deep sky objects that you can see. But I'm going to capture a picture here, and you can see as soon as I do it, this thing kind of popped, and that picture is there. Now that picture is mine. And so I can actually go to me, I guess my home. Yeah, that's my home. And I can look at photos and see all the photos I've taken. The most recent one is at the top. And sure enough, there's that image that we just took. And so we can go to details. And there it is, this beautiful picture of this cool spiral galaxy, Messier 65. And it's actually one of my goals as an astronomer is to capture all 110 Messier objects. With my telescope and with a camera and but you could do it with Slooh too. But I'd like to do that with my
I'm gonna
telescope.
try it with Slooh because I don't know how to take pictures with my camera or telescope.
There's definitely a learning curve, but you know what? That's something that I'd like to talk about with the club eventually too, right? So they're really nice, and that's cool. I like that we could just go on and see it, and the telescopes do different things, right? Like I think Chile 1 and 2. Okay, Chile has two cameras, a wide field and ultra wide field. Chile 2 is a wide field. You'll notice it's already switched, eh? Like every mission, I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see it. Every mission is about 5 minutes. So when you schedule some time, you get 5 minutes to take a look at the object that you're looking at, capture your photos, and then you can use those photos in the quests.
Oh,
Right?
that's amazing! So you've scheduled time
Mm-hmm.
for us to actually look at something in particular.
Yeah, I did. I picked a nebula,
Oh,
and
which sorry?
I picked a nebula. So I'm gonna go to let's see, my dashboard shows me lots of different things, but missions. If you go to missions, there we go. We have an upcoming mission 5 minutes from now. By the way, Slooh uses what's called Universal Coordinated Time, or UTC. So you have to adjust this a little bit for where you live. Like for me in Toronto, 23:45 is 7:45 p.m.
I set UTC on my Apple Watch.
Oh my gosh, that's the nerdiest and most awesome thing ever.
I know.
You know what I need to do is actually have a second watch, and then when people are like, why do you wear two watches? I'll be like, well, one of them's UTC because I'm an astronomer.
Right? Exactly. Well, you can do all kinds of stuff with your watch face. So like I have like different things. I even have the moon phase.
Oh, that's super cool. So there you go. So we're actually going to look at the Iris Nebula, which is New General Catalog 7023. And we can go to the telescope now, which is Chile 2. It says, Canary 2. We're on Canary 2. So it says telescope right there. I think you're only allowed to schedule one mission at a time, but I actually scheduled this last night. So it was fairly easy for me to pop on in the evening, schedule this, and now we can actually go. And let's go take a look at Canary 2.
I'm surprised at how quickly you can do it. Like I was thinking when you told me that we were supposed to schedule time, I was like, really? You can do that quickly?
It's amazing. There's a lot of time slots, right? When you have a 5-minute slot.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's fantastic.
So you get info on the scope. It says it's offline, so it might actually be offline right now. But look at that. We're next in the queue.
Woo! It's us!
But it's kind of a bummer. It seems that it's offline now. What often happens is, in Canary Islands or in Chile, you can have clouds. There was a power outage a couple of weeks ago, and so it actually was off. Like, let's look at the conditions. Strong wind gusts. Canary 1 was offline due to wind. Yeah, so high winds right now in the Canary Islands. If you look, observatory information, status report, it shows you all that. But you know what? This is one of those things where it's like, okay, we scheduled a mission and darn, it can't happen. We can go and try and schedule it again for tomorrow. I might even give it a try. But we can look at some of the other people that have scheduled things. So one of the cool things to do is that, here's the Iris Nebula that we were going to look at next. Well, the one after that is called the Snowbell Star Cluster, Messier 12. That sounds kind of cool to look at. Messier 14 sounds kind of cool to look at. So you can just go at any time when someone's viewing these objects, look at them, capture some images, and add those images to your collection and use them for some of the quests. So it doesn't look like we're going to get to actually use the scope, but the good news is we already captured some on Chile 2. But let's see what Chile 1's doing right now. It's looking at Antares, a bright red star. And actually, I'm glad because I need a picture of this star.
That was the first star I found on my own from my balcony.
No kidding.
It is. Last year, yeah.
So Antares is a red supergiant. Absolutely huge star. One of the largest stars in the night sky. And I'm going to capture an image because I have a mission where one of my required captures is a supergiant star. And so I'm actually going to show you that mission because that sounds kind of fun. So let's go back to my homepage. I think it's a quest, actually. So I'm going to go to my quest. Here's my in progress. Look, I completed the sun. And we're going to go to Cosmic Explorer. So this is a quest, one of the beginner quests, the starter quests. It gives you some reading. And I think it was Red Supergiant. So look at that. Go to step. And we're here. Oh, Red Supergiant. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant. It wants me to take a picture of Betelgeuse, I guess. But it gives you a lot of information, talks about the object. So you can do a little bit of reading even before you do the observing. Oh, and it wants me to do the image of Betelgeuse as opposed to another red supergiant. I guess it is a starter quest, and Betelgeuse is an easy one to capture, right?
And I think it's the one that's been so popular.
It has, yeah. I mean, it was
doing some fun things.
It got everybody excited, right?
Yeah, well, it still might be doing fun things. We're not sure yet. We're still monitoring it with the AVSO.
Oh, yeah, right on. See, that's great. I'm glad ABSO is doing that. I mean, that makes sense. That's kind of what ABSO does.
We do, yeah.
Association of Variable Star Observers. Makes sense that you're observing variable stars. But hey, if Betelgeuse explodes, Oh, that would be amazing. I mean,
Right?
I'm hoping it exploded 600 years ago so we can see it.
Yeah, and I hope that we can see it during our lifetime because it takes so long for the light
Yeah.
to travel to us.
Yeah, that would be a good one. So this quest has like 8 different parts. I'm going to show the moon quest as well because that one's really fun. Let's see. Where's my... We'll go back home and go to my quests. The moon one is... I feel like it requires a bit of dedication because I started it like at the beginning of the month. And so I actually have... I have one of the images, but there's a bunch of info about the moon. I'm actually going to go back and see where my images are. Did I capture any of them yet? I think I captured one of them. I think it was first quarter.
Green if you got it, right?
I think it was first. Yeah, it should actually. Maybe I just haven't added the image. So let's go back and see. Because I'm pretty sure I got a photo. There it is. Oh, I got waxing crescent. So this is the photo that I got from one of the telescopes.
Oh, wow.
It's nice, right? So I think that
Beautiful.
was... Let's see. Mission details. Yeah, so it was Canary 2. So it tells you... That, oh, you can't actually see that on the screen right now, but in this mission details thing... here, let me help you. I'll move it up a bit. So this mission details thing down here, it says when it was captured, so June 23rd, where it was captured, and which telescope was used.
That was so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of helpful, right? It makes it easier to see which ones you've done. So I'm actually going to go, and so it was the waxing crescent. I'm going to go back to that mission and see if it was there, and if it isn't added, we're going to add it. So quests, view quest. We wanted the waxing crescent. And look at that, there's my image. Oh, I have to choose an answer. Maybe that's why I didn't do it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what is Earthshine? Heather, help us out. Do you know what Earthshine is? Is it... Okay, I'm gonna bring the answers up so you can see all 3 of the answers.
Earthshine is the light reflected off of the Earth from the sun, is it not? And then onto the moon.
Yes. Okay, so here are your 3 possible answers. Answer A, radioactivity from Earth's core that emits light from Earth's surface to illuminate the moon. Answer B, the reflection of moonlight onto Earth's surface. Or C, the reflection of light from Earth's surface to the portion of the moon not illuminated by the sun.
C?
You're correct. It is in fact C. Earthshine is when the dark part of the moon actually glows because light from the Earth bounces back from the moon. So like sunlight hits the moon, it bounces to Earth, it bounces back off the Earth, hits the moon, and bounces back off the moon. So you see...
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, right? So you see a little bit of a glow, and there we go. Look at that, we got the correct answer, and believe it or not, we should be done the step now.
You have to hit the next step, though, don't you? Oh, yeah, no, you've got the thing. You're good.
Did I?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, yeah, I have my question mark. So now if I go back, so you can see kind of my progress for the mission.
Completed.
There you go. Only a bunch more moons. 10 more moon steps. But that's okay. You know, what I like about this is that you kind of get a chance to go at your own pace. So I don't know about you, but I maybe look at this once or twice a week as I have time, schedule a mission, come back to it, and
okay, so how do you schedule a mission, Ryan?
One of the cool things before we schedule a mission is if you go to any telescope, they do time lapses constantly. So Pico del Tiede, I don't know how, I don't speak Spanish very well, but you can open up a time lapse and see like,
oh wow,
what's happened throughout the day. So I'm sorry, there's a bad view because I'm viewing this on a different screen, but I guess that's pretty bright. But you can open the small time lapses there of the domes. So you can see these are the different telescopes that are on this mountain in Chile. Chile is a great observing site because it's a desert and it's super dry.
So do we know how Slooh has access to these scopes, or are these actual scopes that Slooh has in Chile?
I believe they own them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that's why they have this dedicated group of users. Like we can use them because we are paying for a subscription to these telescopes, which is kind of cool. And they do time lapses.
That time lapse is amazing.
Yeah,
right
that was
there.
nice, eh?
Oh.
We'll play both of them because why not? But it's nice to be able to see the whole sky, and you can kind of see. I mean, this was in the daytime, obviously.
It's still awesome though. The sun is a star.
That's true. There you go. We're seeing some stars. But I like that I'm a big kind of information geek, and so it's kind of nice to have like all this information about the dew point at the telescope, the current temperature.
Oh, you're a data geek like me.
Yeah, exactly right. When the observatory opens in UTC, current status report is really helpful. There you go. You can see Canary Islands just off the coast of Africa on the map there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We have a forecast, so it's supposed to be clear tonight, but I guess the wind is really high, so it's not doing great right now. And there you go. There's your map of day and night. So you know where we are. You're over here.
Yeah, I'm over there. Yeah,
I'm down here.
I'm way west.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. We get the lunar phase when the moon's rising and setting. For astronomers, moonrise and moonset are really important because if the moon is out, it's a lot harder to do good observing of deep sky objects because the moon is bright.
It can wash everything out, like the comet.
Yes, that's true. So these are all people that have scheduled time, and a lot of them, aren't going to happen if the weather's not great. But as soon as we get to, this is not. It's nice. It actually gives me my time zone here. 1:10 UTC is 9 p.m., 9:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I can still reserve this slot if I want to come back, and that's a few hours from now. Actually, not less than that. Right now, the time is 7:53 p.m. for me, but I could come back in 2 hours and reserve this slot. So I click on the slot. I choose what I want to look at, right? And you can do it by telescope. They want you to do reservations pretty quick, but you have 5 minutes to do it. So we could choose, let's say an emission nebula. I was choosing the Iris Nebula before. And you just search through the objects, and the Eagle Nebula is really nice.
It is.
So let's preview it. So I'm not going to do it because I'm probably not going to come back if I'm going to try and find the comet. But
yeah, that's fine.
Another easier way to schedule it is just in the top bar. If you just go to mission setup up here, you literally go mission setup, and you can choose them by what they call the Slooh 1000, which are like the 1,000 most popular objects, by a particular constellation. So if I want to look for the Andromeda Galaxy, I can find it in Andromeda, naturally. There it is, M31. And it suggests the telescope to use. So it suggests Canary 3. It suggests you a time. It gives you the first available time slot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. And we can go do it. You can do it by catalog. So if you wanted to go through, this is for you, Heather, if you want to go through all the Messier catalogs. Yeah. So you can literally type it. So do you know what Messier 42 is?
I should, and I think so.
That's tough. Don't worry, it's okay. I like to peck you with questions now and then.
As I grab my phone, which is an extension of my brain.
Well, nobody could see you. Nobody could see you either. I'm pretty sure it's the Orion Nebula.
And I should know that. Heather.
That's okay. But it's nice. It's visible. And then there's this other step over here that's called image processing. So like if you're looking at a specific image, it's important to choose the type of processing. Like M42 is a nebula. So we're probably going to choose faint nebula. So what it'll do is that when you look at that object, what it says here is a medium contrast stretch with low gamma is applied. So what that basically means is that when we're looking at a nebula, they're going to optimize the telescope to look at that nebula. And by telling them, oh, hey, we're looking at what we know is a faint nebula, M42, or actually small bright nebula, probably.
Yeah, because I was going to say you can...
So it puts different filters on the telescope.
Cool.
So that we can go and take a look. When we do look, it's optimized for our view so that we can get a good photo. And then we go, same as before, we go preview mission. Yeah, and you can just go schedule mission. And it's in.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's next Wednesday. And what's good is it gives you the earliest possible time that you could see that object.
I love it. I'm totally going to use that.
And you should. I hope we get through all the mess. Maybe one of the things I want to do with the club is eventually do, like, hey, here's our mission for the month. Here's what we're going to do. And our mission might be to capture one phase of the moon, or 10, or as many as we can. Or the mission might be capture as many Messier objects as you can.
That'd be so much fun.
Right?
All of them. Yeah.
So we can play around and do a lot of things with the club. You can also do it by telescope. So say, hey, I'm really tired of looking at stuff with Chile 1. Let's see if we can use the Canary Islands. And again, you can go to that specific telescope, see what slots are available. It is tomorrow, but it's today for me.
Yeah.
So so this is actually 9:15 p.m. this evening. Yeah, the night of the 15th. So even though this is technically tomorrow in the Canary Islands,
but that's still awesome. That's awesome.
So that's cool. So you can set up a mission on that particular scope. So that's your missions. And then, of course, clubs. And we can go... where? My club? No, I'll go home. We'll see what clubs I'm part of. The Astronomy in Action Space Club.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have fun with this, so it's kind of nice. But I love having all these images.
And you can check and see. Oh, we got some really... I'm excited about it for you as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's fun.
I think it's such a great idea, especially for right now. And also, it just makes it so much more accessible for people that can't get out, to dark skies and stuff, or feel like they can't do it.
Or have to buy a telescope.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're part of it with me. You're an awesome person, and we're going to have a lot of fun learning about space with this club.
We absolutely are.
Yeah, totally. So there are 3 starter quests in Slooh, and I'm actually... I've got one of them, which is the moon phases. I've finished one of them, which is the sun. And I'm also doing the Cosmic Explorer. But if you want to join more, there's a ton of different missions. And if you just go up to the menu, you can go to quests and literally see dozens upon dozens upon dozens of them. And they're all based on levels. So you can kind of see this Burnham's Labyrinth is a 200 level. Capture 4 giant planets appeals to me. So let's go view this quest. That's a 100 level.
Cool.
And so our solar system contains 4 gas or ice giant planets and 4 rocky planets. So we're aiming for the ice giants. Look at that. So collect images of the 4 giant planets, learn about them. That sounds cool. And you get badges when you complete them too, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to join this one. And now I should see it if I go back to my quests. There it is. Right there. And we can view it. So, and you can join as many or as few quests as you want. I think for me, I want to stay at 3 just so I have ones to focus on. But I would bet that there's going to be some members out there who do like 10 at a time because they just want to keep doing
the quests.
Yeah. One thing I do often is I try and capture as many photos of different objects as I can. Like, Proxima Centauri, the closest star
Get it now.
to Earth other than the sun. There you go. Thank you, VJ, for scheduling that. I'm going to capture that. So there we go. So I've got that too. So that's kind of fun. It's nice to just pop on once in a while. And even if you're not running the mission, it's a nice way to just get different images of different things and see what's out on the telescopes.
I have another question. It says mission audio there. So are they actually broadcasting while they're talking about what they're looking at, or? No,
the mission audio is actually gives you some background information about the object.
Yeah, so it should pick up.
This is Slooh.
Cool.
And the great Slooh telescopes have now moved all the way south to the constellation of Scorpius, the Scorpion. That's already a pretty far south zodiacal constellation, but this part of Scorpius is even further south than, let's say, its major star Antares. This is 40 degrees south of the equator, so far south that it's never high up for people even in the southern United States, and for observers in Europe or Canada or the northern part of the United States, it doesn't even rise at all. It scrapes the horizon or doesn't even quite clear the horizon, which means that The object that we're looking at, NGC 6124, is seldom observed. It's not well known. It's an open star cluster, and it would be pretty bright and famous if it were in the part of the sky, let's say around the Big Dipper or north of Orion, or one of the parts that just got up higher in the sky for most observers.
I had to turn him off, but I love this guy's voice. That is
Right?
so relaxing.
And that cluster's amazing.
That's nice. A nice open cluster. Look at that. I'm going to snap a picture.
Beautiful. I want to snap a picture. I'm gonna like jump on my browser here right now. Was that Chile 1 or 2?
Chile 2.
I want it.
Widefield, yeah.
Yes. Gimme. I got it.
And you know what's nice? You can also give kind of a an aperture here to feel like you're looking through a telescope. You can toggle that.
Oh, that's cool.
Or full screen it, which is nice too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's nice. The mission audio is really fun to kind of get a feel for what you're looking at.
Hey, so I heard that you can actually download your images and maybe share them on social media.
You can, and actually, you can do two things. You can take pictures that you've taken with your camera or telescope and upload them, or you can select. Yeah, you can. You can actually add that. Actually, I have a few of them that are actually mine on here, not the ones you can see now, but
Cool.
I'll show you those later. But if you want to download one, like we just captured a really neat one on Chile 2, you can either click this little button right here that's download, or you can look at the details of it. Oh, and you can, okay, so where's our download button is the second one up here. So I'm going to download that a little bit later, but you can add it to a specific gallery. You can make sub-galleries of, say, hey, this is an open cluster. I want to make a gallery of all my open clusters. You can add tags to it. So we'll say it is an open cluster. So you can find images within your own gallery.
Cool.
Or you can trash them if you really want to. You can delete them. But one of the things I like to do, and I'm actually going to show the bottom part of my screen so that we can see this part, is you can write your observations down. So this entry is the Slooh how to video with Ryan and Heather.
I love it.
And tell us, I narrate everything I type, by the way. We learned how to use Slooh scopes today. And you save that, and now that's your observation that you can come back to anytime. So, yeah, there it is.
That's so
and you
rad.
you can view this for other people as well. So if you go to your photo hub, you get this roll of photos, right? So if you hover over the image and the three dots in the bottom corner, there's a thing at the bottom that says share image. So I'm going to share this image. Share.
Yeah.
Select a club. Oh, look at that. Okay, we figured it out.
Yay!
So you go share, you select a club, and we're going to share it to the Astronomy in Action Space Club. And look at that, I earned gravity points. So I'm going to show you, here's the
What?
I'll show you on my screen. There's my gravity points. Because I've added an observation and shared it with the community, I have gained gravity points, which are...
I want to share mine, the one I took earlier. So how do I do that?
So if you go to the image... Well, let's start at your
Do
photo
I have
hub.
to write an observation, though?
I think you do. I think you do need to write an observation first. So I'm going to write an observation of, this is the pinwheel galaxy.
Okay.
I'll just say hi at the
Oh,
bottom.
and then I can share.
Yeah,
select
once it's
club.
once it's say yeah. So
I
once
got
you
gravity points.
you did amazing, and you know what? I want to see your shared image. So I'm going to go. We're going to go to the club.
It's there.
Is it? Let's find Heather, club leader. What do you
Right
do?
below you, because I took it before.
And photos.
You go to the
Oh,
observation.
there it is. Picture
right
I
below
took.
yours.
So I can. There you go. I'm gonna like it if I can. Picture I took during how-to video with Ryan. There's the celestial coordinates. And how cool is this? Indeed. And the cool thing is, if you scroll down just a little bit further, there's a like button. I'm going to give you a like, which hopefully will give you some of these imaginary space internet points.
Heck yes. I love imaginary space internet points.
Right? They're the best.
Damn.
They're the best. See, now the cool thing is that if we go in, we're in the club, and we go to observations, we can actually see the photos that we shared, that you and I shared.
Look at that!
Like them, and you can see that I liked your photo, and you liked my photo. Look at that.
It's friendship.
Yeah, right? Awesome. That was really fun. And so hopefully we get a lot more people coming and sharing stuff. And that'll be really
I
nice.
hope so too. I'm sure we will. And I'm excited to chat and hang out with them all.